Hello everyone, Daniel Kerr here. So, there is no multiband compressor inside of the Force, right? And this fact seems to come up sometimes in discussions when people talk about mixing and mastering completely inside the Force, like not wanting to step outside or into the box at all, right, into the computer, and how, you can get the best possible results. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get multiband compression or parallel processing inside of the Akai Force. Now, basic parallel processing that people think about is New York compression, basically, which is to take a dry signal and a very, very compressed signal and to mix them together in varying locations, varying degrees of one or the other, right? And that's all fine and good, but sometimes there's other ways of parallel processing as well, and that's to take a dry signal and mix it with a different type of effect, right? Or to mix two copies of the same signal with two different types of effects, right? And that makes them parallel processing instead of serial processing, right? And so that's pretty much the nature of the business. You mix those two signals together. However, multiband compression is when you have you got your wave, right? And you've got your highs and you got your mids and you got your lows, and you can cut it into however many bands, but a simple 3-band multiband compression basically is to cut the subs out and cut the mids out and cut the super highs out and to process them all separately, differently, and then sum the signal back together. So you get all those parts mixed back together, right? And you would want to do this for a variety of reasons, but the main reason is because, your subs, you don't want any width in the subs, for instance. You really want them to be mono. You want them, I don't really put a lot of compression on the subs, a little bit of limiting and some drive, and that's about it. In the mids, and then there's mid lows and mid highs. You can cut it into however many bands you want, just like I said, but you're going to want different ratios, different types of compression, right? Different attack and release times for those specific frequency bands so that they sound the best. They're optimized. And then when you bring them back together, right, and then put a little maximizer on the end or, other type of limiter, and it just boosts everything and it makes everything sound beautiful. Right now, it's been abused quite a bit, but it is really a valuable tool. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you how to do it inside the Force. Okay, so I have an old project, one of the first Force projects that I put together, and it's in here. I have my macros set up, but it's the first time I ever even experimented with this. Everything's in different spots, and really this isn't that great of a track, right? So it's kind of a throwaway track, but I'm going to show you how we're going to get some multiband compression. I'm going to use this track as an example, okay? So first thing we want to do is go to arrange mode. Now I have an arrangement in here because I was already messing with this when I was getting ready to film this video. So right now we're going to go to edit, and I'm going to clear everything because I don't need any of this garbage, okay? And right now I've got the bars set to 125. Okay, that's going to be overkill because I'm not going to render out this whole track for this. I'm just going to grab a few parts. I'm not going to put a lot of time into the transitions and everything because I really just want to show you the technique, right? Without further ado, let's get into this. To make this happen, let me adjust this maybe. Okay, to make this happen, to take the matrix view and to perform it out into the arrangement view, you want to hit shift and record at the same time. It says I'm recording to arrangement, it's getting ready, and I'll launch the first row of clips. let that fade out a little bit. Stop it. Okay. And now from here we have, it goes to bar 52. So we're going to go to save. We're going to audio mix down from start bar to bar 52. And we'll give 2 seconds to of tail to fade it out, whatever, right? 24-bit, 44.1, export it. I'm going to put it on my card and in my, hold on. Oh, come on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. 52. 2 seconds, export. I'm inside my card already. I'm going to call this test because that's what I call all of my test waves. Save, or you want to overwrite it? Yes, because whatever's in there was called test. I don't need that either, right? So I'm exporting my arrangement. Showing you the whole process. Not going to do a lot of chopping of this video because I want you to see how everything's done. So yeah, bear with me. There might be I'm going to put timestamps in it so you'll be able to skip through to the parts that you want to watch the most. Exporting arrangement. Okay, now it's exported. Now, menu, new. Do I want to save? I don't want to save any of that garbage. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's go to an empty project. Now, in this empty project, I don't need a plug-in track, so I'm going to hold delete, get rid of that track. This, I want to, you can't see it in one of these cameras, but I'm going to hold down a pad in this audio track, and I'm going to hit load. And I'm going to go to my drive, and I'm going to scroll down to test. There it is. I just made it, and it's loaded on there. Now if we go to the clip, oh, there it is. It's fired off. Wait, you can't hear it. When I first started using the Force, this was extremely frustrating. I could not figure out what was going on here. It turns out that in the mixer, audio tracks are, go to I/O, set to monitor input at all times. So we'll change it to auto. Alright, now we can hear it. Okay, there it is. Looks like it's nice and loud. Okay, everything's working out great. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the effects. What we're going to do is we're going to make 3 copies of this piece, and we're going to process them differently before we sew them together, and that's going to give us our multi-band compression. So let's go to mixer. Effects. The first thing I want to do is get rid of any width. So we're going to go to harmonic, I believe. Go down to, oh, it's not harmonic. It must be modulation. Modulation and up, air stereo width. We're going to add that piece, and in the width, we're going to turn that all the way down. I want this as mono as possible. Okay? The next thing I want to do, so right afterward, I want to add in dynamics. No, EQ and filter. I want to put a kill EQ in there, okay? And in this kill EQ, I'm just going to turn off the high and the mids, and we're just going to hear the lows. Listen. Okay, all I'm hearing is some subs, but actually I'm hearing the highest, a pretty high register of the subs. So we're going to go to the low band here. We're going to cut that down. Let's listen. 109 sounds good. Okay, all we're hearing now is just the deepest subs, and we've already gotten rid of the width, so it's in mono. The next thing we're going to do, I think, is add a filter, so I can filter it even more, right? And let's listen. I want to pull it down. I don't want to lose any of the width, right? Or lose any of the band up to the 102 hertz or whatever I got going on, but I do want to add some drive. Let's do that. 2 decibels of drive, that's good. Let's go back, and now let's add a limiter, okay? Dynamics, we'll add a limiter. Now in this limiter, let's let it go. Let's turn the ceiling down, whoops, I don't know what happened there. Let's turn the ceiling down to negative 0.2 decibels, and let's add some gain until it starts to reduce, okay? Okay, that's a thick bass, thick and meaty, right? Now, let's go back and let's hold down copy and make a copy of this track. Now the second one here, do we need the width? No. We want the stereo in there. Do we need the filter? No. Do we need the limiter? No. We do want the kill EQ. So what we're going to do is it's already set to the right frequencies, right? Because I've made a copy. So the low frequency is at 109, where it's supposed to be. Let's solo the mids. And actually, let's solo this track and listen. Okay? Oh, I gotta fire off the clip. Okay, let's add some compression. Now, before we do this, I'm going to stop it because the compressor that it adds by default is super loud. I'm going to go into the presets and find something that's closer to what we're going to be doing, which is an instrument, and flatten. Okay, in here I'm going to turn this output all the way down before I even get it started. I'm going to pull the threshold all the way up, and let's listen. I'm going to turn the threshold down. Okay, now I can see I'm getting about 7 or 8 decibels of reduction here. It's at a 1.5 to 1 ratio, which is really, really nice for this band. Okay, you know what, I will turn it up just a tad, maybe go to 2. Dang, it's going so slow for some reason. Okay, go to output, and I'm going to pull in some of that gain that we've lost by reducing the threshold negative 15 dB. So. Let's hear them together. Okay. You know what? That sounds really, really starting to distort, so let's redo this when they're together. Loud recording, so it's good. We don't have to add a lot of compression to get it to work right. Okay, let's go back to the mixer again. Let's make a copy of that channel. All right, and this time let's get rid of this compressor because we're going to do it again. And this time let's solo the high frequency. Let's solo this track, fire off this clip. Now, as you can hear, all I'm hearing is the script. Oh, now I'm hearing a little bit of the tinniness from the hi-hats, etc. I'm going to pull this high frequency down just a tad. Okay, put it at about 1.8K, 1.79K. Okay, now all we're getting is some tinnies, right? So let's go into the mixer and let's add some compression. Again, I don't want that compressor. This time, you know what? For those high register, for the highest band, what I think is a vocal preset, and we can mess with this a little bit, like classic overdrive. That's fine. Let's turn the output all the way down, threshold all the way up. Okay, a 4:1 ratio. That's good for this. And let's listen again. Let's wait till those drums come back in before we start messing with the controls here. Okay, let's pull this threshold down. Okay, now it's compressing nicely. Okay, and let's bring a little bit of the output up. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is, just to give it a little bit of width and some movement, I'm going to add a reverb. And we're going to use the air reverb. Now that sounds crazy right there, but let's go. Let's again find a preset to dial in. Let's do concert hall because it's big, but let's pull, because it's got a nice room size, right? Let's pull the time down and the mix down. Okay, let's pull the mix up to about, it's at 9%. Let's pull it up to about 5% and pull the time up a few seconds. Okay, it sounds like with more. It's just giving it a bit of width. Okay, and actually I can pull the output width up a tiny bit too. Okay, now let's go and hear these together. Okay, all three of these together. that perfect? No. But it really, really is a good starting point, and the techniques that I'm showing you are very, very valuable. In fact, let's copy, whoops, yep, another one of these, and in the mixer, let's turn all these off. Oops. If you hold them down, it turns them on and off, but nonetheless, this is going to be a dry signal here. Let's put that on crossfade B, and let's put all these guys on A. That way, if we're on A, we can hear what we just did. And if I slide it over to B, we can hear the original. What's going on? Oh, I got to fire it off. Okay. This is the original. Let's wait for some beats. Let's wait for some synths, too. Let's slide it over. New. A lot more movement. A thicker bass response, a lot more movement. It's not muddy, right? There's ways to perfect this for sure. It's just a starting point. But anyway, that is the keys to the kingdom of multiband compression inside the Force, right? So if I delete this last one, actually I can also go to the arranger view. And 128 bars, that's kind of weird. Let's fire this thing off. Yeah, so that's you know, if you're in the Facebook groups and you see me talking trash on the Akai Force, right? I'm not really talking trash. I'm not complaining. I'm just talking about its many limitations and shortfalls. There are numerous problems with this unit, and I don't care. I'm still using it. I'm uncovering the best workarounds and the best techniques for you guys, and I'll continue to do that. So anyway, hope everybody had a great summer. Snowboarding season will be upon us before you even know it, right? Merry Christmas. Merry early Christmas. Happy harvest. All of the good things. Love you. Bye.